Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. 3 topics for this video. The first one, the President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump, issues an ultimatum to NATO. You heard me. You heard me right. He gives them a deadline. All right, to do what exactly? I will tell you. That is the first topic. The second topic, if we won, why do we negotiate? Well, Donald Trump told Netanyahu to ease strikes on Lebanon and start negotiating with Iran, but we won. I know that when someone wins, there's no negotiations. It's just I tell you what the terms are, and you take it. That's it. This is the second topic. And the last topic, the third one, Putin announces Easter ceasefire. So he will have a little ceasefire for 32 hours. All right? We'll see if Zelensky Stein will do the same thing, because Zelensky said, well, you know what? How about the ceasefire? How about the ceasefire? How about the ceasefire? Well, if you really want a ceasefire, you say, like Putin, I declared ceasefire. I don't care what you do. I declared ceasefire. So the ball is in Mr. Zelensky Stein's temple. All right, let's start with the first topic. Trump's ultimatum issued to NATO. This is unbelievable. The Telegraph, April 9th, 2026. Trump, NATO allies have days to send warships to reopen Hormuz. So Trump tells NATO allies that they have days to send warships. How come they're allies if you tell them what to do? It doesn't seem to me that they are your allies. It seems to me that they are your vassals, which is actually accurate. So I thought we won. Didn't he declare total and complete victory? I made a video earlier today with Donald Trump's statements. Total and complete victory against Iran. But we need NATO member states to send their warships into the Strait of Hormuz to reopen Hormuz. All right, let's read some details. Donald Trump demanded that NATO allies, how can you demand if they're your allies, send warship the Strait of Hormuz in a matter of days, as he criticized the alliance for its inaction on Iran. I have to remind this tyrant that NATO is supposed to be a defensive organization, treaty, not an offensive. And since you thought you got a big dick, you and your boss Israel, and you will destroy Iran in no time, you didn't ask NATO to help you. You just attacked. You didn't defend, you attacked. Therefore, based on a lie, by the way, which was what? Clear and present danger? No, that was a lie. Israel is more of a clear and present danger to many countries than Iran is. All right, so Donald Trump, there you go, he won, but he needs help now. First, he knocks at the wrong door. NATO is not an offensive organization, or is it? Well, let's think about it. Did Yugoslavia attack NATO? No. Did Libya attack NATO? No. Did Syria attack NATO? No. Did Iraq attack NATO? Did Afghanistan attack NATO? No. Anyway, so I make my point. Let's move on and see what else this guy has to say. What he demands. The fragile ceasefire between the US and the Islamic Republic appeared to hold on Thursday, while Israel said it would hold peace negotiations with Lebanon after waves of airstrikes killed hundreds of people. You know how many people they killed? I think they killed about 250 and there were about 1,200 wounded. And we're told about the October 7th. and we're supposed to start our clocks and the new era October 7th for those imbeciles. For me, that doesn't even exist. I personally don't care about that. I said it. I don't care. Well, it was bad. Well, if you incarcerate a person illegally and that person in its way to break out of the prison that is illegal prison, what do you expect? Shoots a few guards and pushes around? I'm not defending what those guys did. I simply don't give a shit. How about that one? And I'm not allowed not to give a shit. The same is with the Holocaust. I'm supposed to care. Guess what? I don't. Why? Oh, it's your problem. Was it good? No, but we have a lot of questions regarding it. All right? Hey, I can ask questions? No, you can't nowadays. So let's move to the second topic. Ukrainska Pravda, 9th of April 2026. CNN. Trump asked Netanyahu to ease strikes on Lebanon and seek negotiations. Now, negotiations with Lebanon or with Iran? In the previous article, they said negotiations with Lebanon. He asked Netanyahu. Did he beg him? Did he tell him? Did he give Netanyahu an ultimatum? After all, just a second, Mamiya wants something. So Donald Trump demands of NATO, but asks Netanyahu. NATO is Great Britain, which is about what? 68 million people or something, nuclear power. That's France, 64 or something million people, nuclear power. NATO is Germany as well, 84 or something million people, not nuclear power. And many other countries. But hey, he asked Netanyahu 9 million people with no resources and nothing but goats and some stolen orange trees. That's it. Can you imagine that? I asked him, tell the motherfucker, tell him, if you are the United States of America, 330 million people, the biggest economy, the greatest fantastic country in the world, nuclear power like crazy. We asked a country of 9 million people, goat herders, that depend on us 99%. Really? But he demands of NATO allies. He's very upset with NATO allies, but not with Israel. All right. Let's see what negotiations he asked Netanyahu dearly. All right, let's see. Look at, can you see over there? I haven't seen this one. This is the pinnacle of narcissism. That's him, the President of America. You see that? You gotta be fucking kidding me, man. And they tell me democracy is the best ever thing in a political system. It's not. Not this kind of democracy anyway. US President Donald Trump urged Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in their most recent conversation to scale back strikes, not to stop, scale back on Lebanon and push for negotiations. All right, according to sources during a conversation on April 8th, Trump asked Netanyahu, so it's not urge anymore, asked Netanyahu to ease strikes on Lebanese territory and negotiate with Lebanon's official authorities on the disarmament of the pro-Iranian Hezbollah group. It is unclear whether Netanyahu agreed to this or merely took note of Trump's request. An Israeli official told CNN that a ceasefire is not yet on the table and talks will be held under fire. All right, good. Very nice. Remember, now Trump talks about the Lebanon's official authorities. Was Maduro the official authority of Venezuela? Was the Ayatollah the legitimate and official authority of Iran? Yeah, he was killed, assassinated politically by the guys that Trump asks to scale down on killing civilians. Very interesting, don't you think? All right, let's go to Putin. Let's talk about serious stuff now. Russia Today. Putin announces Easter ceasefire. The pause in the fighting would last from 4 p.m. Moscow time on Saturday through Sunday, according to the Kremlin. Got it? To the end of Sunday. So at 1600, which is 4 o'clock p.m. Moscow time, on Saturday until the next day at the end, 000000. We expect the Ukrainian side to follow Russia's lead, the statement read. Okay, Ukraine form, the Ukrainians. Putin announces Easter ceasefire, quote unquote. All right, the same, April 11 until end of April 12. Good. Doesn't say anything about here. So it says that Russian Defense Minister Belousov and Chief of General Staff Valery Gerasimov have been instructed to suspend combat operations on all fronts during this period. At the same time, Russian forces have been ordered to remain in full combat readiness. The Russian side also said it expects Ukraine to take similar steps. And again, from the Ukrainians, Putin declares 32-hour Easter truce. Okay, well, that's nice, isn't it? Isn't it nice? I think it's nice. Even for Easter, which, remember, Easter is the most important holiday of Christianity. The whole Christianity is based on the point of coming back to life and showing the path to, to eternal, not eternal life. Eternal is no beginning, no end. But living, coming back to life, defeating death through following what you're supposed to, and so on. This is it. It's not the 25th. It's not Christmas. That's not. It is a holiday, obviously, which was a pagan holiday first, and these guys borrowed it, and somehow it just fell on the 25th with Jesus Christ's birthday. Nevertheless, but the point is, Easter is the most important holiday for Christians. So there we have it. Not for the Jews. No, not at all. Good. I hope it's going to stand for whatever, 32 hours or how much, how long it's going to be. I hope the war ends in Ukraine, and Ukraine, or the guys in charge of Ukraine, realize that they're, how do you call it? That's the end of the line for them. Which is, they have to understand, as the Russians say, the reality is in the territory or in the field. But hey, lately I read some articles claiming that actually the Ukrainians are winning and the Russians are losing. Possible, but we'll see. Russia, by the way, cannot lose. It loses, then uses nuclear weapons or something. The same as Trump, or as the Americans in the Second World War. Shorten the war and save Russia's boys' lives. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.